passengers safe as fast as possible. And in the bargain, they kept circling for more than an hour. And the flight engineer kept telling the captain that we are running low on fuel. But he was so engrossed in the process that he lost sight of the larger aim. And unfortunately, when they finally decided to come in, the plane crashed while landing and killed 10 people on board, including the flight engineer who was giving this warning all the time. Such is the irony. The second example, more recent, is the US Airways flight, which is an incident which happened in 2009, also known as the miracle on the Hudson River. This flight, barely 2.5 minutes after takeoff, ran into a flock of geese and both its engines failed. Both engines failing on an aircraft is by itself a 1 in a million chance. But the captain took an immediate decision to land the aircraft in the river. He did not refer to any manual. He had the bigger picture in mind, the outcome in mind, to get the plane down and passengers safe. And he did not involve the crew in all these decision making. He only passed a short and crisp order. This is the captain, brace for landing. 7 words. This is the captain, brace for landing. And the entire crew reacted the way they were taught to react. They did not look over their shoulders for any more orders or get bogged down by rules and regulations and procedures. And 3.5 minutes after that, the aircraft was down and all the passengers were evacuated safely. It just shows the difference between the two approaches. You can get bogged down in paperwork, or you can focus on the outcome and the result that you want. And I think all of us can relate to this example, because wherever we are, in whatever path we have chosen, we would have come across this red tapeism in some way or the other, which has actually pulled us back. So therefore the need of the hour is to change, and that change has to come from within ourselves. We have to change the way we function, and only if we do that, we'll be able to increase our productivity and assume a rightful place in the world order. So all of us are in it together. And when we change, we have to do this in an inclusive manner, cutting across all boundaries, whether social or gender. And once again, I would like to highlight the fact that we are a community with shared characteristics. But our characteristics are also different, from north to south, from east to west. There can be so many differences. And therefore, we have to harness this diversity and make it into a strength, and not a weakness. And in this, respected Shah Maharaj and his family has been in the forefront in bringing about this change, as was actually mentioned earlier. They have initiated a number of projects for the less fortunate and also to bring about social reform. The Sakal group also has similar initiatives and have contributed through their CSR to also bring about this change, once again, which was adequately highlighted earlier. But most importantly, it is the youth of the nation on whose shoulders lies our future. And it is you who have to now step up and carry this torch forward. And for this, Swami Vivekananda had said that a brave, frank, clean-hearted and aspiring youth is the only foundation on which a nation can be built. So the youth of a nation is our future. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude my talk, but once again highlighting that national security is a whole of nation effort. We are in it all together. And in this, the farmer who is working under the scorching sun and the Jawan who is guarding the borders in the freezing snow, both have an equal role to play. All of us must keep this in mind whenever we think of the nation and national security. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.
धन्यवाद सर. यानंतर आपण कार्यक्रमाची सांगता करणार आहोत. मात्र त्याआधी